Hello, guys, and this time it's a reaction to Fresh and Fit. So let's go with it. Oh, and right, what's on the table is Myron says that women killed chivalry, and that woman over there in the corner says that both parties are involved. Let's go.
Incredible.
The whole point was who has more to blame.
Yeah.
And
Who
honestly,
control?
the
Yeah.
problem can be solved from the root cause. What's the root cause?
All right,
Unfortunately,
both
it's
parties.
huh?
Both parties.
No, but
All right, let me
what's the root cause of the problem though?
go ahead. You can go.
No,
No,
I'm asking you.
he's talking to you.
Both parties.
One party has to be more than the other.
No.
It can't be in the middle
can
though.
be
That's what
equal.
you guys don't understand.
It can be equal.
There has to be
Thank
one.
you. Has to be one.
All right.
If women controls who fucks, therefore they have responsibility over that authority.
Sure, yes, I agree with that.
So that's
so then,
it.
who's the root
But
problem?
that
That's the
doesn't
end.
mean that's fully women though. It's just fully women.
We're just saying who has more of a majority stake in the issue. And it's women. It's simple.
Women
Okay,
pick who has sex.
So if I make my husband mad and he beats the shit out of me, it's my fault too.
And this is what I wanted to react to. If I make my husband mad and he beats the shit out of me, am I at fault over here also? Well, gotta hand it to Fresh and Fit. They can start very controversial topics, and I like controversial topics because I think we should talk about controversial topics. I mean, we just should. Just placing those topics somewhere on the top shelf for not anyone to have access to, I don't think that's something good for this society. So, this is a very good one from the top shelf. Is a woman responsible, to some degree, for being, I don't know, I guess abused? Well, I like comparing men to dogs. I think it's a good comparison. It's not perfect, but it's a very good comparison. So, imagine that you have a puppy. Imagine that you have a puppy, and it's even hard to say that. And you kick that puppy intentionally, right? God damn it! I'm imagining a puppy and someone. Jesus Christ! Why would someone do that? Never mind. Okay, imagine you have a puppy, and you kick him, and the puppy just does nothing, runs away. Okay, so you go after him and kick him again. Puppy runs away again, so we kick him again and again and again, and then at sixth time, the puppy bites you. Is that puppy responsible for it? Is that puppy fully responsible for biting you? Well, I guess there are reasons to say yes and no. If you would, let's think about it as an equation. If you would remove the kicking part from the equation, right? The equation is simple. A person, that's a variable A, kicks, that's a variable B. A puppy, that's a variable C. And all of that is times 5. Right? And the result is equals getting bit. That's the simple equation. If you would remove the kicking variable from that equation, then the result would change. If you would remove person from that equation, well, it would not change. It might not be a person that kicks the puppy. It might be something else. I don't know, like a machine, for example. It doesn't necessarily mean that the result of the equation changes. We know for 100% that if you remove kicking from the equation, then the result does change. And the same rule applies to... Hold on, no. Not the same rule applies to the puppy variable, right? So it's a person, variable A. Variable A doesn't change the result of the equation. Plus kicking, variable B. Variable B does change the result of the equation. Puppy, variable C. Well, I guess if you would switch puppy to a lion, you would still get bit. Possibly. Or even the dogs aren't the only animals that can bite. So, I don't know. What does that tell us? Is if you are biting that person, you are responsible for it. Of course you are. But you have reasons to do what you do. Sometimes the reasons are good enough, sometimes the reasons are bad. But it is the woman over here, right, that gave those reasons. You can't say that she doesn't bear responsibility. She did. She is in that equation. So, I guess, yeah, you do bear some responsibility for it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong at the equation. Now, there is another thing. There is a fourth variable there in that equation that I didn't talk about. First of all, every dog has, in that theoretical example, every dog has a different breaking point. Now, that breaking point may be different due to, I don't know, what kind of experiences that dog had in life, parents or whatever. There are many things that affect the breaking point. But how to say this? I've saw a podcast. It was a Tim Pool podcast. And there was this woman telling about her experiences in grooming and gender care, switching her gender, basically. She went to a doctor and said that she wanted to become a man. And according to her, she was groomed to do that. But that's not really I won't talk even about that. Maybe I'll make a different video about it. The thing is, how she described her transition. That's the thing. In her words, it was one more thing. The doctor who prescribed her meds, well, possibly testosterone, I don't remember, but I guess possibly testosterone. He prescribed 4 times the dosage that she should be taking. And in her words, how her experience looked like. Instead of feeling the whole gamma of feelings, when something happened, I could feel only one thing: anger. Something happened, anger. Something happened, anger. Something happened, anger. It's like the universal feeling to everything that that was happening to me. That's how she described it. And people at the podcast, well, welcome to a man's world. That is exactly how men work. Right? Women are not. Women don't get men. Right? Women don't know men to that degree. And we have a tendency towards anger and violence. Anger is a very important feeling that we have. It has advantages and disadvantages. It makes us more focused. It makes us more willing to fight for what we believe. It makes us like determined to protect. It helps us going to war and die. Well, that's a bit different, etc. But okay, let's use that. Why not? It's not exactly like that. It's kind of a bullshitting, but of course, anger has also disadvantages. The thing is, anger is very important to us. The ability towards violence is also very important to us. It has advantages and disadvantages as everything, right? But women don't get that that's how we work. Right? When something happens, to some degree, well, because we live through our lives and try to deal with anger, and we create that. We try to push that breaking point further and further, but not eliminate it, where we are meant to have a breaking point, right? Otherwise, we're just weak. If we don't have a breaking point, then everyone can shit on us and we're weak, useless. So we do need to have that breaking point when we lose our minds. Well, not lose our minds. That's another breaking point a bit further, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Anger is very important for us, and women don't know that. Women, I think that women think that we also feel that whole gamma of feelings just as they do, but we don't. The primal feeling that we have is anger. Now apply that to the puppy, right? And even more, it's no longer a puppy, it's a grown dog. It's a grown dog. So a grown dog has that line established somewhere, but there are different types of dogs with different lines, right? A woman should know what is the breaking point of her man, not to make him lose them, not to know when she should shut up, because you're walking into a dangerous territory. This is not a puppy anymore. It's a dog, right? He's stronger than you, and his primal feeling is anger. Do you really want to piss him off? Well, knowing that, the answer is no, of course. I don't want to piss him off. But the thing is, women don't know. They don't know that that's the equation. So, going back to the dog example, not only it's a grown dog with an established line, but it's a Rottweiler. And if you know something about dogs, Rottweilers don't have that line established so much up high. So, you are in the room, the Rottweiler is in the room. You kick him once, he starts to bark. You kick him twice, he growls. You kick him third time, he bites, and literally bites your leg off. Is knowing that you're dealing with Rottweiler, if you knew that that puppy was the Rottweiler, would you change your attitude? Would you stop kicking? Right? I imagine that if you're an asshole and you want to kick a dog, you would think twice before kicking a Rottweiler than a puppy that is like more submissive. Which is also, I guess it's also a part of the equation, right? If the guy is submissive, then you would be more entitled to kicking him. That's what men are. I compare them to dogs, but I also like to compare them to Rottweilers. If you have a submissive Rottweiler, fair enough. The line is pretty up high. Pretty up high. Not as up high as with other dogs, for example. That's still a Rottweiler. That's still a Rottweiler. And you know it. Why would you kick him? Do you bear responsibility? No. You might say, that example is just stupid, right? Women don't hit men. And even if women were doing that, then they don't do any damage. Look, women don't hit men. Well, I mean, sometimes they do, but you're right. You're right. They don't. And even if they do, they don't cause any damage. And women know that. Women have different mechanisms to be vengeful, to hurt men. Not physical ones, psychological ones. You can kick the dog. Kicking the dog is not really kicking, right? It's an analogy to hurting the dog. And women can hurt the dog by different means. I took kicking as an example because it's good enough, right? But, you know, women don't anger men by hitting them. They anger men psychologically. Right? I guess that's what I wanted to react to. Are women responsible? Are women responsible for being hit by a man? Well, we could use also the same analogy. Let's say a man hits a woman. And we would create a equation from that also. And we could say, if the line was higher, if the breaking point was higher, then that would not happen. True. If breaking point was not so high, so low, it would not happen. Well, it might not happen because you don't know. If the man would not hit the woman, who knows if she would just continue what she's doing? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Possibly, if the guy would be submissive and do nothing, I would say the possible thing that would happen is that she wouldn't stop doing it, whatever she was doing. Now, but if you remove from the equation, doing whatever the woman is doing to make the guy angry, well, that definitely changes the result of the equation, right? It does. Or am I wrong? I don't know, guys. Give some information in comments, alright? Let's have a discussion about that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. It's up for you to decide if what I'm saying makes sense. And as always, do try to use some critical thinking. I am possibly wrong in so many cases. And even this one, I just don't see where. Anyways, that's my reaction. Have a good one, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.